Golly, that's good.
I cracked myself up. I still haven't found my first Blanton's. That's different. I really like that.
They're like together, like peas and carrots.
That's funny. Sometimes accidents are good things. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud. This is not what I expected. Ha. Ha! That's how I felt the first time I tried the Nulu. Let's see, that one was 120.4 proof. So it was hot to me, but at the same time it wasn't so hot that I didn't enjoy it. And I said at the time that if I could let that thing sit as long as like a George T. Stagg does, I think it would be fantastic. It could rival George T. Stagg. That's what I thought when I first had it. I have not had this one. This is the Toasted Barrel. OHLQ had their single barrel Saturday. Oh man, I hate this wax crap. They had their single barrel Saturday, and the Nulu Toasted Barrel was a part of that. And I wasn't able to get one that day, but while I was out of town, beginning of the month, this is just a mess. Why did they do this? While I was out of town, I was able to find the Toasted Barrel. All right. Okay. Let's get this stupid thing poured. All right, so we talked a little bit about Nulu the last time we did Nulu. That would be this one right here, the straight. This was a pick from the liquor cabinet in Lambertville, Michigan, and they did the wax on that too. I had forgotten all about that. But here's what I wrote at the time. I wrote that this is from Prohibition Craft Spirits Distilling Company. It's MGP juice. It's 5 years old. This one is 120.4 proof. This one, the Toasted Barrel, is 114.8 proof. Mash bill is sort of undisclosed, but there is a blend that I did find. 2 barrels at 36% rye bourbon. So 36% rye bourbon. That's all I know about the mash bill. I don't know how much corn. I don't know how much malted barley, but we know that there's 36% rye. That's high. And then there's 1 barrel of a 21% rye bourbon, which is also pretty high. So it's a high rye. If you don't like high ryes, you may not like this. Now, while that's sitting, I am going to open this old one, and I'm going to take a sip of it because I want to be able to tell the differences between the two. This one's almost done. I'm glad I got another one of these. On Single Barrel Saturday, got another one. All right. Now, I've had a bit of a cold, so my nose may be off, but I'm not going to try to nose this. I'm just going to taste it. Well, I'll nose it a little bit, I guess. All right. It's got a leathery note to it. Prohibition Craft Spirits, founded in 2016. They've known for sourcing barrels and for private barrel picks for bourbon clubs, distilling other craft spirits online. They've got a reposado. It's blue agave reposado. I would like to try that. I think that would be good. Their Nulu single barrel line is sourced MGP, bottled. Hey, Larry. Bottled unfiltered at cask strength. Every batch is small batch, made right in downtown Louisville. One story I saw told of the day they were visiting, and the writer witnessed them breaking down their own used barrels and making furniture out of it. Nulu was named after the upscale part of Louisville, known as New Louisville, hence Nulu. Company names their spirits after areas around town. Now, that's very nice. All right. Yeah, see, I still really like that. Got a really nice fruit overtone. 5 years. I really like the Nulu. And this ought to knock that cold out, too. I started to get it last Thursday. I didn't even realize that I was having trouble sniffing, having trouble nosing the whiskey. And I was like, why am I having trouble? It's because I was getting a cold. That's why. Duh. I didn't even know it. And it's still there, but it's like the opposite of where I was last week, right? So last Thursday, I started getting this cold. I started feeling it. And then Friday, I'm down for the count. Well, now I'm on the other side of it. See, I'm coming out, back out. All right, one more of these. Reached 100 subscribers on YouTube. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but to me, it's kind of nice. All right. All right, so this is the Toasted Barrel. I wasn't able to find any information about the Toasted Barrel, really, at all. Prohibition Spirits doesn't talk about it on their website. I haven't seen very many reviews. The reviews that I saw were very short, didn't go into any kind of detail at all about how they toasted the barrel, how deep it was. Was it just the lids? Was it the inside? Is it a second barrel that they toasted? You know, they did the first one with the regular char, and then did it go in a second? I don't know. I can't find really any information about it. I've looked, and now my sinuses are draining. I think it's because of this. 120 proof. Woo! Okay. All right. So if I have to mute to take care of it, I will mute to take care of it. Matter of fact, I think I'll mute to take care of it in just a second here. All right. I don't know if that's going to do me any good, but all right. So here we go. This is the Toasted Barrel. Again, my nose is off, but I do get some oaky notes, smoky oaky. On this one, the nose is sweet. On this one, it's more smoky. Let's give it a little more air. Yeah, there's definitely a difference in the nose. I may really like this. I do like. So I like peated bourbons. I like scotches. Lafroig is one of the scotches that I enjoy, and it's like sucking on a campfire. It's really, really smoky. I like a smoked bourbon. I like smoked meat. I like smoky stuff. I made a sweet pork tenderloin a while back, and not going to do that anymore. It's got to be smoky. Meat's got to be smoky. Well, I like my bourbon the same way. And if it's oaky and smoky, it makes me happy. This one, so far, I'm getting those good notes off of it. I'm not picking up a lot else, but my nose is off because of my cold. But see, that's interesting. This one started to smell a little bit sweeter, a little more fruity. Then I compared it to that, right? I need to stop comparing it to that. Okay, so this has got some nice butterscotch in it, aside from the wood. It's really tough to pull out notes because of my sinuses. I'm getting a fruit like a... I can't tell you what it is. It's something in there is fruity, and I can't tell what it is. This is probably one I'll have to come back to, so I can get better notes on it. On one hand, I might say it's black cherry, but I don't know that because it's just not working. It's off. It could be plum. Could be raisins. I don't know. Raisins. You really got to open up the back of your sinuses sometimes to get a good whiff of this stuff, which is why my sinuses are going crazy right now. All right, so let's give it a taste. Wow. That's really good. That has got like molasses cookie. That oak is in there real nice, and it's got some really nice, really sweet notes. My golly, that's really good. Excuse me just a minute. Okay. Wow. I'm getting some orange on there in the finish. Almost like toasted marshmallow. But I don't like marshmallows, so... But that's what it's reminding me of. And like I said, molasses cookie. Boy, that's delicious. Nice caramels. Oh, yeah. Golly, that is tasty. That is really nice. I can taste. My schnoz isn't working real good, but I can taste. And I'm liking this. Yeah, something. Molasses cookie is the best way I can describe it. It's a really sweet note. Now, we talked about molasses a few weeks ago when I was visiting the folks, Joe and Chris, with the Maumee Valley Whiskey Society. We were talking about molasses, and molasses itself is bitter. But when you, and Joe even mentioned this, and I'll 100% agree with him, if you make a cookie out of molasses, now you got something sweet and delicious and decadent and luscious and just full of flavor, and that's what this is. That is what this is. This is fantastic. All right. Wow. Yeah. Man, that's good. All right. Let's do some water. This may have gone right up into my top 10. I like the regular Nulu, but this may have just topped it. This may have gone into the top 10. This is really very good. There's a couple of people that I talked to that said, yeah, I didn't get it. Well, I didn't get it on Single Barrel Saturday either, but I'm glad I found it when I found it. This is actually where I bought this. It says that this one is a Louisiana exclusive, and I bought it in Louisiana at a store in Shreveport. And so for all I know, the stuff that we got for Single Barrel Saturday wouldn't be the same anyway. I mean, every single barrel is going to be just a little bit different. You'd like to think that they're out of the same batch. I don't know. I don't know if this was like a state pick like OHLQ does here in Ohio, where the one that I picked up, it's over there. This is a Lambertville, Michigan pick. This was a pick that they did at the store. But I do have the OHLQ state pick of the Nulu single barrel over there. So this may be the same as that. I don't know if it's that kind of single barrel pick or not. But I'll tell you what, this is fantastic. This would go really nice with some of those deep bayou crab and crawfish boils. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gushing here. So let's do the water test. All right. Almost didn't want to add that much water to it, but it's kind of customary. All right. Get that going. The color on this is nice too. If you look at the two, this is the regular. Now this is almost an empty bottle, but look at the color differences. I mean, this has got to be a secondary barrel. It would have to be, wouldn't it? I mean, they do it. They do a 5-year in the regular oak, and then they dump it and put it in a toasted barrel. That kind of negates the idea of a single barrel, but they're not calling it a single barrel. They're calling it a toasted barrel. But that's where you got the extra color, which is really very nice. Very nice bronze color to it. And that's with water in it, too. All right. Getting a really nice creme brulee note on the nose now that my sinuses are settled down a little bit. Now that's with water on it, so this may have sweetened it up a little bit. We'll see. Here we go. It did sweeten it up. Oh my gosh. Really nice sweet note right on the tip of my tongue. Sugar cookie. I know, I must be hungry. I'm thinking of cookies now. Sugar cookie on the front and that molasses cookie still in the back. There's some honey. Butterscotch is in there. I'm probably making the sound gross sweet. And I don't mean to do that because it's not gross sweet. It's just, I do tend to like bourbons that have sweeter notes to them. I don't like necessarily the flavored ones, like Knob Creek's got one with smoked maple, and that's too sweet for me. As a matter of fact, the Angel's Envy Rye, the more I drink that, the more I find it too sweet for me. I'm not a sweet wine type of guy, but there are some sweet notes that I do like in my bourbons, and this one has got those. Now, who knows? Maybe, I'll leave this open for a few months and come back to it, and I may think it's too sweet for me. Tonight, on a fresh crack, it's not. Like 1910. 1910 is a 2-barrel bourbon, and it's got a sweeter palate for me as well. I like the 1910. I like the 1920 better. I find the 1920 to be amazingly complex. Really, really like it. I've got a Bottled and Bond around here too. I need to add that to my Bourbcast list because I don't think I've ever even had the Bottled and Bond. 1897? I don't think I've ever even had it. Because I'm not missing anything. Chris is watching. Lana's watching. Cody is watching. Hey, you ever done any 1792s? Tyler, I did a long time ago. As a matter of fact, the picture that I took got featured on 1792's Instagram, which is pretty cool. I just took it on my porch in the rain. I was so as a YouTube contributor now, I get these videos that come up on my studio page or whatever, and one of them tonight was talking about YouTube's new profanity guidelines. Back in November, they started these new profanity guidelines, and I guess it has to do with revenue. It has to do with advertising, and they said that that if you have profanity in your video, it's going to reduce your opportunities to monetize your account. All right, and I guess it was really like locked down. So I get watching the one tonight. And they've relaxed the policy now, and there's a video, and they're talking about how they relaxed the policy. And the guy says, so if you have light profanity in your video, words like, and he starts rattling off these words, and he's taking it very seriously, and I'm just saying, now if you have harsher words like the F word, and that's what he said the F word, and then 2 sentences later he said the word. I was laughing. It was so much fun to watch this guy just very seriously, very, very conversationally go through this list. It's almost like George Carlin without trying to be funny. Remember George Carlin's 7 Dirty Words? Right? So it was almost like that, only deadpan. No emotion whatsoever. It's hilarious to watch. It was really funny. I would post it, but I don't do the profanity thing. I try not to do that on these things, and I try not to proliferate profanity because I don't think it takes any intelligence to be profane. So, I've sworn a couple times on the Bourbcast, but just not a lot. And it hasn't been horrible or anything. All right, let's get back to the tasting. Let me make sure I've not missed anything. That's awesome. I've got a few haven't cracked them yet. 1792 Full Proof. You have the sweet wheat. I am jelly. I had a chance to buy the sweet wheat, and I had bought everything else. Everything else 1792 makes, I bought that day. The sweet wheat was the one that I didn't, because I didn't have any experience really yet with wheated bourbons. So I let it sit. And I haven't seen it since. Now, I did get to taste it. There's a bar in Cleveland I went to, and they had the sweet wheat. I am such an idiot for letting that sit. It was a money thing. And I experienced thing, and I was an idiot. But yeah, it's a fantastic one. 12-year, I've got that. Small batch I've had. Which year you crack next? Oh, man. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't want to tell you what to do, Tyler. I don't want to tell you what to do, but, and it all depends on whether or not you can get another one and where you can get it, how soon you can get it, but this sweet wheat, really, really good. The full proof, I had one that I liked and one that I didn't like. And they were, one was a pick, single barrel pick. And it was okay. There was another one that I had that I thought was really, really good. So you could do that one next. It all depends on your preferences with high proofs and things like that. If you really like a high proof, then sure, open it up. And fortunately enough, the full proofs come around a little more often than some of the other ones. So, but man, I'll tell you what, if I had a sweet wheat sitting here right now, I would have a lot of trouble not opening that bad boy up because it is licious. Okay? Really licious. All right, let me get back to this. Yeah. Ooh. Graham cracker on the nose. Yes. But again, not overly so. It's not so much that I'm going, oh, I'm going to get diabetes off this sip. No, it's not like that. It's just, it's very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Graham cracker on the palate too. Which kind of goes along with what I was saying. Molasses, honey, butterscotch. I mean, all that kind of stuff is a component to the flavor of graham crackers. Yeah. Yeah. Num, 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 num. Now, I'm going to go back to this one here in a second. Just for giggles. This is the regular Nulu. I was jockeying back and forth between this one, the Larceny barrel proof, and the barrel seagrass, trying to get this cold to go away. I don't know if it did any good or not, but I had fun. All right, now I'm going to go back to this one. This is probably not going to be very pleasant. Actually, yeah, it's really good. I'm a fan of Nulu. I like this brand. So far, I've liked everything I've had. I know not everybody will agree with me. I was reading a review on Reddit a little while ago, and there was a guy who opined on the review and said, I'm not into Nulu. I don't like it. Okay. More for me. Same thing I say to my kids when they don't like what I've made for dinner. That's all right, more for me, because if I didn't make it, I wouldn't be eating it. All right. Now, I would say that this is a gorgeous, elegant ice sphere, but it is not. This is one of them that was a failure. It's flat on one end. It's still pretty, but it's not a full ice sphere, and it's not elegant. Hey, Jordan, how are you, sir? I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you didn't miss it. We're doing the Nulu Toasted Barrel, and it is num-num. Yeah, I said that. I said it was num-num. There's something wrong with me. All right. Got to give it the ice test. See how it fares out on ice. Because some people, good evening, good sir. Yes, sir. Because some people are going to want to use this in a cocktail. Would I use this in a cocktail? If I had multiple bottles of it, if I had a case of this, yeah, I'd use it in a cocktail. I think it'd be delicious in a cocktail. Put this on some smoke. Oh. Little black walnut bitters. Maybe just a little bit of simple syrup. Shoot. Yeah. If I had like a case of this, I would do that. But I don't have a case of it. I have one. So no, this is not going in a cocktail. But let me tell you how it holds up on an imperfect, inelegant, clear ice sphere. All right. Okay, here we go. Holds up. Flavors are great. That smoke came out, that toasty smoke came out. It just hit me like boom, punch. That toasted smoke, just really nice right there. That was the first note that leapt out of me. Leap. It's down here before I do something stupid and break it. All right. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Awesome info, thanks. You're welcome, Tyler. And when you open that sweet wheat, just remember that I'm here, and I love it. That's all I have to say about that. I'm not, like, asking. I am. I wish I would have bought that bottle. I haven't seen it since. Doggone it. Now I'm going to be ruminating on that all night long. Thank you very much. Stupid idiot. Why are you so stupid? Excuse me. Oh my gosh. On ice, I'm getting mostly just the toasted barrel. There's a little bit of that molasses cookie there, a little bit of almost a maple syrup. Again, it's not as sweet as the Angel's Envy Finished Dry, and it's not as sweet as smoked maple from Knob Creek. Nowhere near. It's just got some of those notes. And I'm finding that the complexity in this is in those sweeter notes, and I really like it. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to make myself a mental note to come back to this in a month or two, maybe 3, and give it another try and see if I like it as much, and see if I like it, you know, if it's gotten sweeter. If it gets sweet like the Angel's Envy Rye, I may not like it as much. We'll see. All right, so you ready to find out what's coming up next week? Next week is St. Patrick's Day week, right? So next Thursday is the 16th. Let me make sure I got that right. I think I'm right. And next Thursday is, come on, the 16th, right? Okay, so the 17th, Friday, is St. Patrick's Day. So here's what we're going to do. Okay? We're going to be here on Thursday like normal. And we're going to do Michael Collins. This is an Irish whiskey that I found, and I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's any good. I hear that we don't get it very often around these parts. So I'm kind of excited to have this bottle. Pardon me. Please. All right. It's still coming. I got the machine started now. All right. So Michael Collins, we're going to do this next Thursday, and I'll just put that there. And and I'm going to do a drink too. I found a drink online that uses a honey liqueur. So I'm kind of stoked about that. But this is what we're going to be doing next Thursday. Now, since Friday is St. Patrick's Day, we're going to do a bonus Bourbcast next Friday. So if you feel like sticking around and coming back on Friday, it'll be fun. Otherwise, you know, it's like Memorex. You can come back and watch it later if you're doing your own parties and enjoying yourself. I mean, it's St. Patrick's Day on a Friday night. Come on. Why would you want to watch me when you could do your own thing, right? But if you can, cool. Here's what we're going to do. Last March, we did Green Spot. I haven't had much out of this. I'm not a huge Irish whiskey guy. They're just too low proof and a little bit too smooth, but, you know, I've had a little bit. Just a little bit. But that's lasted me a year. I haven't touched it hardly at all, just occasionally. Well, I got the yellow spot. This is a 12-year. We're going to put these two up against each other next Friday at 7 o'clock on Beautiful Bourbon. I got that one open. Let's open this one too. Maybe. And there's no wax on this. I shouldn't be having any trouble. Okay. So there's the yellow spot. We're going to give this a fair shake. We're going to put it through the paces. I've already done this one. I've already put it through the paces. We're going to do this one through the paces. And then we're going to come back and put the two against each other to see why. Okay, Friday. Or Friday. Yes, Kevin. You know, Kevin is the male counterpart of Karen. I just made that decision myself unilaterally, Kevin. So yeah, we're gonna take green spot and go against yellow spot next Friday, which is St. Patrick's Day. Oh, don't be a Kevin, right, Chris? So the Michael Collins on next Thursday, and we're going to do a cocktail too. I found a nice Irish cocktail that we're going to try this with. Again, with that honey liqueur, and then we're going to do the yellow spot on Friday. So it's going to be a great week. I love St. Patrick's week. Of course, I'll have to do some pickled juice as well. I got to do a pickleback, right? So be prepared. You know what's coming up. See if you can find yourself some yellow spot. I will tell you the yellow spot is a little bit more expensive than the green spot. This was $120-some. Green spot was not. So, and the Michael Collins was not that expensive either, but this was like 129, 127, something like that dollars. So it better be good. So I'm not going to be wasting this. I'm not going to be going crazy with it. And they've got other stuff too. They got a blue spot and a bunch of other ones. So, so anyhow, I'm looking forward to doing this next Thursday and Friday here on Beautiful Bourbon at 7 o'clock. So do appreciate you being with us here tonight. This is just all the more fun that you're all here with us. And don't be a Chris. Love you, man. And it continues. Sweet, a double bonus week. Yeah, Paul. I mean, when I was scheduling, I thought that I would be going into April of 2024 with episode 200, and now we've scaled it back to March. Right now, I've got episode 200 happening in March of 2024, which is a year from now. And we'll see how many more Bourbcasts I kind of throw into the mix. I'm planning ahead. I've got a few empty spots, but I'm trying to get ahead of it all so I know what I'm going to be doing, when I'm going to be doing it, and I can plan ahead for it. I know it sounds like for something that I'm just taking casually and I'm not putting that much effort into it. I don't know where it's going to go. It seems like there's an awful lot of organization behind it, doesn't it? There's a lot of effort behind being effortless. All right, guys. This has been fun. I've had a good time tonight. I hope you have too. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to next week when we can get our drink on and celebrate St. Patrick's Day together. In the meantime, you have a great what's left of your week and a great weekend. We have some winter weather coming in. But spring is around the corner. I've got one tree out back. I know I keep going. The tree out back is already starting to spurt out like little buds on it. It's like, I hate to tell you this, but there's winter coming this weekend, so put your buds away. Put your buds away. Okay. All right, guys. I'm in a mood. All right. I will see you on Thursday next week for Michael Collins, the day before St. Patrick's Day. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Whatever the hell that meant.